Hey world, I'm Josh, and you may not know this about me because it's really kind of recent that I stepped in front of the camera, but in the last 2.5 years or so, I've lost about 170 pounds or so. If you don't believe me, here's a picture of me from back then when I weighed 343 pounds. So now you see me now. I'm not wicked thin or anything, but I'm down to about 170 pounds, and I'm about 6'1" and a half, 6'2" in there. Anyway, I wanted to share with you some things that worked for me along the way to help me lose weight and get through all of this. It's sort of a top 10 tips kind of thing, no particular order. First thing I want to say is that, in my opinion, cheat days are a bad idea. I think that in this weight loss process, you're gonna mess up anyway. You're eventually going to cave and eat dessert, or the cookies in the pantry are gonna call your name and you won't be able to take it anymore. You'll see some candy bar at the checkout line, or potato chips, whatever your food vice is. I have a sweet tooth, but salty works for me too. So I think cheat days are a bad idea. I say, why plan your mistakes? You might get on a roll and be able to go for a long time and kind of lose your cravings, and that's a good thing. So why plan messing up? In all likelihood, over 2.5 years or so, if you're losing this much weight, you're gonna mess up, and you just have to get back on the horse. And I say, why plan it? That being said, if this is the sort of thing you need a reward system and you really want to have a cheat system, I'd say plan a cheat meal, not a cheat day. A whole day could really get out of hand. I call it, for me, a food apocalypse when I mess up, because I really mess up. I eat like all the cookies in sight, like all 2 packages of Oreos, like the big ones too. I did an Oreo Thins review. I ate all of those and I hated myself for it, but I got back on the horse and worked off the pounds relatively quickly. Anyway, that's that. Next thing, black coffee or unsweetened plain tea. There's almost no calories in these drinks, and the caffeine suppresses your appetite. That is really what has helped me get through the day at work, is staying caffeinated. It really helps me forget that I'm hungry. Next thing, fruit. Learn to love it. I don't buy into the anti-sugar hype when it comes to fruit. I think if you're gonna mess up, you have a sweet tooth like me, you're going to gorge. 5 apples is better than a bag of Snickers or something, or a whole tray of brownies or whatever, or a giant bag of Lay's potato chips. I'd much rather go to bed being upset that I ate a friggin' bag of apples and bananas and everything else. So, and I don't think fruit is the same kind of sugar as white sugar or powdered sugar, any of the refined sugars. I think your body still has to work to break it down some, and I think that's better. Number 4. Recumbent exercise bikes. That is the best thing ever. If you're like me and you weigh like 300 plus, 343 like me, like, chances are you're not going to really want to be out running on a treadmill or any of that. You probably will give up pretty quick. I don't want to be disheartening, but let's face it, when you have that much weight, you're gonna get hurt. It's going to be painful. And the flip side of that, walking is not that effective. Yes, it's good. It's a good start, but you don't burn a lot of calories walking. The recumbent exercise bike is the kind where you put your feet out in front of you. And I bought one, and I just made a rule that is what I watch TV on. I love TV. I watch a lot of series. And that's when I go watch TV, when I'm on that bike. I still do it to this day, and I burn a ton of calories, especially in the beginning, and an hour and a half on the bike. I was doing something I was going to do anyway, which was watch the shows, and I was burning over 1,000 calories. And if you're restricting yourself to like 1,600 calories a day or something, 2,000, whatever, you're going to lose weight. So that's a good thing. Recumbent exercise bikes, I highly recommend getting one. You can find them on Amazon for like under 400. I bought a nicer one, but you don't have to. You can probably find it on Craigslist for a pretty good price. Next thing, I got into eating a lot of salads. I eat salads for lunch. I would say the one thing you need to do is use a lower sugar salad dressing. Try to keep it to under like 5 grams per serving. The servings are usually 2 tablespoons. I think low calorie is good too, but you'll see like a fat-free raspberry vinaigrette and then see it has 11 grams of sugar and you're like, that's not good. I think that is a big trigger. My favorite right now is the Annie's roasted red pepper. I know in the beginning of the weight loss, I got there by eating a bunch of refined crap and really salty and really sweet crap. So everything healthy tasted awful to me, but I promise you it starts to taste better. Taper down. Don't go straight to black coffee or just low sugar, but instead of full fat ranch or something, you know, work it down to something with a little sugar. You got years to work on this. It's not something, you're not going to lose 170 pounds overnight. You know, so what I did, like with the coffee, is I started with like 2 or 3 creamers. I had been drinking energy drinks to get my caffeine. They're horrible for you. So I tapered it down first. I had 2, 3 creamers and then 1, and then eventually down to black coffee. Now, I love black coffee. Next thing, green smoothies. Or in other words, get a good blender. A top 2 or Blendtec, Vitamix. I say Blendtec because that's what I have, but everyone will tell you. All the Vitamix converts, they love Vitamix. I basically think you can get the Blendtec for cheaper, and it's just as good for making smoothies. I've heard good things about the Ninja, some of the other like KitchenAid, Breville, that kind of stuff. I think you're probably gonna have to spend at least like 80 to 100 to get one that makes a pretty decent smoothie. But the green smoothies in the morning and for snacks when you're really like desperate for food, when you don't want to break and eat something bad, they're really good and filling, and you know, just a good way to get started in the morning without eating a bunch of brown sugar and oatmeal or a egg McMuffin or whatever. You know, I was eating egg biscuits, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits like they were, you know, candy on the way to work. So it's a really good way. There's lots of recipes online. I use like spinach, water, fruit, and a banana, like frozen fruit. Drink that on the way to work. Lately I've gotten into adding some protein powder or rolled oats. The rolled oats, that's a pro tip. That makes it taste a lot better. It gives you, like, if you like oats and oatmeal, I think it tastes great and gives you a little texture, something to kind of chew on just a little bit. Okay, next thing, weigh yourself daily, especially on the weight loss front, like when you're, especially in the beginning. Even when you mess up, you need to be aware of what is happening to your body every day, what the food did. I never got it, but I would have liked to have gotten the Withings, I think it's called WI Things, Smart Scale. That seemed really awesome to track your body composition and stuff like that. But just weighing yourself daily makes you aware of what's happening with your body. There will be fluky things like you'll be dehydrated when you weigh yourself in the morning and you'll be way down, or you'll drink a bunch of water and be heavy, you know. There's fluctuations, but this will show you that you're making progress, and that will make this a much better thing to see what you're doing. And these smart scales now, they'll map it all for you. I was tracking it all on Weight Watchers, which I did Weight Watchers, but once I figured out what I got a feel for what I could eat in a day, I kind of got done tracking. So really, after a couple of months, I really only used it to track my weight and show me the progress I had made. I stopped. I didn't get too crazy with the calorie counting. I just sort of had a mental note of what I could eat. Alright, next one. Avoid too much salt, just like the sugar, fat. Those aren't the only triggers that can really send you on a food binge, at least not for me. So, you know, they don't say you can't eat just one about Lay's for nothing. They're potato chips. Salt will send you right down there spiraling, as bad as sugar or some fats will as well. Next thing I'd say, don't let yourself get too hungry. You'll overeat. If you shop hungry, you buy too much. I think being hungry weakens your resolve. You're much more open to overdoing it to get rid of that feeling. I don't know what it's like for everyone else, but when I get hungry, I get really uncomfortable, I feel weak, I feel angry, I feel terrible, and I will do anything to make it go away. And it's not like the moment food goes in your mouth and you swallow that you stop feeling hungry. You know what it's like, and you just keep eating and eating and eating and eating before you realize you're hungry, or before you realize you're not hungry anymore, and by then it's too late. So you start to get hungry, go ahead and eat, like I said before, the fruit, a green smoothie, drink a coffee, drink water, drink lots of water. I think that kind of goes without saying, staying hydrated. Alright, last thing. This one's kind of a weird one. Some people probably will think this gives you cancer or whatever else, or there's some other reason to hate it, but for me, butter substitutes were a big thing. Like Molly Make Butter, I can't believe it's not butter. They don't taste great. Molly Make Butter's dry. It's not the best thing of all time, but slathering on butter on a potato really adds up the calories. So those things could save you 100 calories on a potato. 5 calories worth of Molly Make Butter tastes pretty decent compared to 100 calories of butter or 200 calories, whatever. A few other ideas. You can stop there. Those are my top 10, but here's some quick ones. Don't cut carbs entirely. I think that's crazy. You just can't cut them entirely. You can limit them. I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea, especially if you're not doing like distance running or anything. Just don't gorge on bread. Get your carbs from whole grains, brown rice, quinoa. A rice cooker went a long way there. I feel like when it comes to food, the closer the food is to what it was when they pulled it out of a field or whatever, the better it's going to be. Because the more work your body's going to have to do to turn it into fuel. And, I think that's just a better thing. That's some layman speak. I think that's sort of a glycemic index kind of thing. But I don't know about it. Do your research. Don't listen to me on all that. I would say also avoid trigger places as well. Don't walk into the bakery if you can't handle it. Let somebody else go buy the donuts for the office. Don't walk into your donut shop or whatever if you know you're not going to be able to stop yourself from grabbing one to eat on the way back. I think weight loss is also simple. Burn more calories than you take in and you'll lose weight. This is where like maybe a Fitbit would come in handy to get an idea of what you're burning. Just wear it for a day and don't exercise. Just get an idea of what your metabolic rate is. Wear it for a week and get an idea. Like, well, my body on its own, just in a normal day, is burning 1,800, 2,000 calories, whatever. So now I know if I eat 2,000 calories but I burn 1,000 when I'm working out or whatever, I'm going to lose weight. So I'm not saying eat bad foods, and a lot of people will say the New York Times lately has been big on it's more about what you eat in portion size than it is about exercise. think that's just a shortcut. I really think the answer is keep track of what you eat and burn more than that and you'll lose weight. Will that make you necessarily healthy? No. You should still eat right, eat a balanced diet, and try to avoid the refined crap. But if your only goal is losing weight, it's really a calorie deficit is going to make you do that. Prepare to take it slow, focus on weekly goals, not your final goal. You know, try to lose a pound or 2 a week. If you weigh 343, you're going to lose like 5 a week if you do really well, maybe more. They tell you not to do that, but you kind of can't help it if you're doing well. It just happens. I'd also say maybe a thing to do is occasionally buy a shirt that's a little too tight. Don't wear it in public unless you're into that sort of thing. But have it in the closet and see when it fits. You know, try it on every few weeks. And, you know, like that really fixes in your mind that, oh man, I really am smaller. Whereas, you know, I had trouble visualizing it even to this day that I'm that much smaller than I was. I think at one point I was pushing a size 56 jacket in my suits. Now I'm wearing like a 40. I could probably wear a 38 if the shoulders weren't so tight. So I think that goes a long way towards helping you actually recognize the progress you're making. At work, standing desk, been using one of those. That is quite nice. Maybe get one of those anti-fatigue mats because my knees and back do hurt some when I do that. Fast food salads, don't be afraid of them. Wendy's makes a pretty good salad. Maybe they give you 2 packets of dressing. Maybe try to use just one. Maybe skip the candied pecans or whatever other thing they put in there. But you know, if you're desperate for food and you're out and the only thing available is fast food, those salads are really not that bad. Wendy's, McDonald's, some other places. Just pay attention to what's in the salad and try and get the one that's like 400 calories or less. And just one last suggestion, air popped popcorn, raw nuts, veggies, good snacks as well. Try not to put the real butter on the stuff. Don't get the salted peanuts or salted nuts. Oh yeah, one last thing. Sweet potatoes, better than regular potatoes. They taste better and they're better for you. That's all my thoughts. It's a long video, but I think hopefully there's some good hints in there for you for things that might help you. Some of them you might think are stupid, some of them might work. Maybe there's something in there. You probably heard it all before, but those are the things that work for me. And you know, I lost 170 pounds and I tried a lot of crap along the way. These are the things that actually got me results. So, if you sat through this, thank you for watching and have a good day. Good luck with the weight loss. Comment with your progress. Let us know. Share your tips. Get a discussion going on this thing. Subscribe to the channel and maybe I'll come up with some more stuff if people ended up watching this. So, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.